Alrighty.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our third Meet the Game. Tonight, we're going to introduce you to 3 more games. And I'll just give another brief introduction. Betsy and I are from RPG, Restaurant, Pub, and Games. And I am the Vice President of Aesthetics.
And
go ahead.
Sorry. And I am the VP of Games at RPG. So I curated the library that we have at RPG and routinely maintain them, and just in charge of introducing games social media wise through our posts and through Meet the Game events like this.
And if someone would want to order carryout for tonight from RPG, what time would they, when they need to get their order in pretty quick?
Yes. If you want to order from RPG, you need to do that before 8:30 tonight. We close at 9 p.m. on the weekdays. But hey, we're here for you on the weekends as well. And I did want to talk about something new on our menu. Is this beer, and I'm going to butcher the name, but it is Cerveza Dreams in Color. It's a really pretty color. I'm going to pour it. Maybe you could see it. It's this purple.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
It pours really light, but then it turns deeper purple as it sits there. And it is infused with like pineapple and blueberries, hibiscus tea, lemongrass, and vanilla. It is a sour beer, but with all that fruitiness, it tastes really good. Really good.
So we thought that we would just add in a little bit of personal information to tonight's Meet the Game. And we're going to start off by answering a question that we get a lot, which is how we met.
Yeah.
So Betsy and I have been friends for over a decade. And when we first met, I only knew Betsy briefly before she went on a trip to the Philippines. So we didn't really get to know each other that well after we first met, and actually got to know her parents more through a church during the time that she was gone. And then when she came back, I think we interacted a little bit more, but it was really when you and Matt started dating that us as couples started hanging out more. And then, we just realized like how well we got along, and started hanging out on our own. And then just our friendship has deepened over the years because we have kids, that are similar ages. We've been through ups and downs as families. We both been married for over 10 years now to our husbands. Yeah. So, it's been really, really neat. And then, of course, starting a business together has really brought a new dynamic to our relationship. And I think, it's been great. It's been been really awesome to see each other's like strengths and skills that we maybe wouldn't have known of had we not set out on this adventure together.
That's so true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've done more woodworking since we opened RPG, or were you kind of into it, or has this kind of pushed you into
it was more? A little before. It was more house remodeling type projects.
That's true. I remember that.
So, put a lot of time and energy into remodeling the home that we lived in. So I, obviously had a basic skill set, but really pushed me in the area of furniture design and interior design with this, opening RPG. So it was just kind of a different avenue of woodworking, but, it has been really enjoyable to learn new skills and produce something that people get to use.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
awesome.
Yeah. So Betsy introduced you to this awesome purple drink that we're going to be enjoying tonight. And we have 3 games that we're going to be demoing. The first one is called Jaipur, which Betsy already has set up for us. We'll be diving into here in a second.
Yep.
Also Ubongo, and then Raptor. So those are the 3 games that we'll be demoing. And 2 of the 3 are new to me, so I'll be learning right along with you.
And I did not do it yet, but I'm going to pull up Facebook Live. So if you're on Facebook Live, comment, and then we will see your comments as we go along. So, I'm going to get started with talking to you about Jaipur. If you see it, just click on it. Scroll down and click on it. I haven't got there yet. So I've kind of already set up the game. The instructions for this are actually laid out pretty easy. It's pretty readable and figuring out this game for yourself. Sometimes the instruction manuals are just too much to go through, but this one has actually laid out pretty simply. And I like that it even has like what the game should look like at the start. So you'll see in a minute, but I have the marketplace is made up of 5 cards, and then there's a lot of different coins that is part of this game. We are going to start. I'm just going to draw some of these cards to show you before I angle the camera down. There's kind of 2 broad types of cards in this game. There are Camel Cards, and then there are other things you'd find in the market, like sapphires or carpets. These are wares that they would sell in the market. I think this is supposed to be, I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. There's gold. So besides the camels, you just have an array of colors which stand for different resources. So in your starting hand, you will start with 5 cards, and you cannot have more than 7 cards in your hand at one time. And you're basically going to be collecting like colors in order to trade them in for the coin in that color. And the coin in that color will give you the points in the end game. So that's what you want to be going towards. The camels play an important role in the fact that since you can only have 7 cards in your hand and you're trying to collect up to like 3 of a kind or 4 of a kind or 5 of a kind, the camels allow you to have more room in your to trade, and I'll explain why as we kind of go along. So let me turn the camera down at this point to show you what I've set up. Hopefully you can see it. The coins are laid out in order of significance. The brown is worth the least, then the green, purple, blue, and then these are the precious stones, the sapphire, gold, and ruby. And I don't know if you can see the numbers on here, but the red is worth the most right off the bat. You would get 7 points at the end of the game, and then 5 as you go on. The gold is worth 6 at first, and then it goes less, then 5, and then these start with 4, but it quickly goes down to just 1 point for each of those you collect. So you want to aim for collecting higher numbers, obviously. So on your turn, well, first you're going to look at your starting hand. And if you have any camels, so you can look at your starting hand, Megan. Okay. If you have any camels, just lay them down in front of you. Okay. Because they don't count towards your hand count. Okay. So now I only have 3 cards in my hands because I had 2 camels. Yep, I laid one down. Megan laid one down herself. And so now on your turn, you're going to do one of 2 things. You're either going to take cards or sell cards. And there's 3 ways to take cards. You can either just take one single good from this marketplace here. So if I really wanted the green, although green is a lower one, if it was a red, I might really want this red. I could just take it, and that's the end of my turn. Or I could take several goods, and the way you take several goods is you would trade them. You can trade camels for a good. And this is where the camels come in handy. Okay. If there were 2 reds out here instead of these different colors, and maybe a gold, I could take all 3 of them as long as I had 3 cards to put in the market. Okay. And they could be a variety of cards. I could put these 2 camels in the market as well as 1 in my hand. Okay. And I could take the desired cards. So that trading is a second way you could take cards during your turn. And the third way is to just take all the camels. Like if you have traded your camels in the past and you no longer have camels, but you want to do some trading in the future,
Mm-hmm.
on your turn, you could just take all the camels, and then
Okay.
you would refuel the market from this deck.
From the deck. Okay.
So those are the 3 ways you could take cards, or you could sell cards. If I had 3 reds in my hand,
Mm-hmm.
I would sell them, and I would get to take 3 of these.
Oh, you get 3. Okay.
You get 1 for each card you're turning in.
But you have to have at least 3 in order to trade them in?
No, actually you have to have at least 3 for these top ones.
Okay.
But for these, you could do it for less.
Okay.
But just for these top ones, you have to
Top 3. Okay.
No, I actually said that backwards. When selling the 3 most expensive goods, the sale has to be a minimum of 2 cards.
Okay.
Sorry, not 3.
Okay.
2.
2 cards. Okay.
Sometimes it's just beneficial to have 3. But at least 2. If you had 3 cards, as well as taking these 3, you get to take one of these coins, which in the end of the game, you'll see what the value is. There's a variety of values on the back of these. And they're not always in order. Those look to be in order, but they're not. If you had traded 4 cards, 4 of a kind in, you could take one of these, and it's going to have a higher value.
Mm-hmm.
If you traded 5, you get to take one of those to just set aside for the end of the game. So that's kind of the basics of the game. The round ends when 3 of these resources are out, like the coins for them.
Uh-huh.
That's the end of 1 round, and you play 3 rounds, and the person who wins the most wins the game.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's just start playing through it a little bit.
Yes, someone had asked. I thought you only had tap 2. And so,
sorry,
yes,
it is only 2 for these higher ones. Okay, so maybe I'll go first since you're newer at this game. So I can either take 1 single good, or trade, or take all the camels. I don't need to take all the camels at this point. I have nothing to sell. So I'm going to be just taking 1 good. As I take a good, I will refill it so that there's always 5 in the market.
Okay.
That's my turn.
All right. So I'm trying to make matches if I have higher value cards.
Yeah, the reason I took the green is because it was higher than the brown.
Right,
and I already had a green in my hand. But at the beginning of this game with 4 camels on play, it's not a great start. But yeah, so you've got a good hand since I'm looking. But you need to build on it. So you could take all the camels.
So I have more to trade with next time.
Right. Okay. And we'll have new cards laid out. However, that's not going to be beneficial to you because I will get to choose first from those new cards. Or you could take this 1 card and then I'm forced to take all the camels and then you get to see what's new and get to take of it first, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So if I were you, I would probably actually just take 1 single card.
Okay. Take this one and then we'll replace that guy.
And then, well, it's another brown one. So I can either take all the camels or I could just take this. I'll take all the camels and show you what I mean.
Okay.
So now that I've cleared it, you will have the first of the opportunity to pick from this. So far, it's not looking. There's a red there. So that's good. That's the highest value one. And the purple. So now you have the first pick of the new.
So I can take 1 as part of my turn, and if I want an additional 1, I use camels to buy it.
So you could take 1, and just to take. If you wanted more than 1, you could trade. And you could trade from your hands. Like I would trade a brown that's in my hand because the brown is very common. So since you have 2 brown, you could just take all 3 of these
higher
if
value.
You wanted,
yeah,
and trade your 2 browns and your camel.
Okay.
Or you could just trade 1 camel, 1 brown, and take whatever you wanted.
Okay.
You could do something like that.
So, all right. So I'm going to take these 3 cards.
Okay.
And then I replace them with these 2. There's a lot of browns down there now. And this guy?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's my turn. So I have the choice to I mean, I really only could trade in green if I wanted to trade something in, but I'm not going to at this point. I'm taking one Camel's fruitless. I could take one single good. And taking one single good, I think you can take multiple of that good. It's just not like one single card.
Mm-hmm.
So since there is a lot of brown, even though they're lower, I could take. Is that right? Am I take a single good? Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's the way Matt and I played. I apologize if I am doing this wrong. So I'm taking this into my hand and then replacing it. So you have, once again, a fresh market. Ooh, with a sapphire. I'm partial to sapphires because it's my birthstone.
Yeah. They're so pretty.
They are pretty. Ooh, another one.
Okay,
now
so
it's your turn.
If I want to trade cards for a coin,
oh yes,
how do I do that?
So that would be selling cards. So basically you would put the cards into a discard pile somewhere that we can create on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how many of those cards, you would just take the coins.
Okay.
So
if I have two red cards, then I would just discard them.
Yep.
And then take two of these.
Yep.
Okay.
Just take the top two, the ones that are of the highest value.
And is that the end of my turn?
That is the end of your turn. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all you can do. If you're selling cards, you just sell cards on your turn. So I'm going to do a similar thing. I'm going to sell cards on my turn. I've got 5 brown.
Nice.
So I'm going to sell those and pick up 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even though they're 5, 2 of them are only worth 1, but that's okay. I also get this, which is a random number underneath.
Oh, that was a good one.
That is a good one. Yeah, and that's my turn. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. All right. So I guess I'll just pick up one card.
Which, oh yeah.
The green one?
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
And then just refill the...
Yep. And how many cards do you have in your hand?
5.
Okay. I am really loving those blues, so I'm going to take the blues. Purple, gold, and another brown. And you can't have more than, I now have 6 cards in my hand. Got to keep track that I don't have higher than 7. But yeah.
Okay.
So your turn.
I'm going to get this purple card.
Okay.
Replace it. Camel.
Awesome. I'm going to trade in these 3. And from the sapphire, and since it's 3, I could take this one additionally, the one that has 3 cards on the front of it. And then it's Megan's turn.
Okay. And I'm going to turn in these 3 purple.
Okay.
I'm going to take these 3 coins and one of these little guys.
Awesome.
Oh, someone says you have to replace from your hand or camels when you take more than 1 card.
Okay. You know what? I was wondering about that. So maybe I did it wrong. You take 1 single good. So I can take 1 card. If I take more than 1 card, I have to exchange.
You have to pay for it with the camel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I should just give up all these camels.
That's okay.
I'm hoarding camels over here. Yes. Okay, so did I just go or did you just go?
I just exchanged and I got my points there.
Okay, so I'm gonna take 1 single card and then replace. And it's your turn, Megan.
Okay. And I'm gonna take this one and replace it.
Okay. I am going to take one single card. Something you also need to keep in mind, since these higher ones you have to trade in at least two. If I were to have two reds and I just laid the two down and took these two, you wouldn't be able to take the last one, or I wouldn't be able to take the last one because you can't trade in 1-for-1 for these.
Oh, yeah,
ones.
that's true. So that one won't be emptied.
Right. So that won't be emptied, which is fine. It's just a loss of 5 points, and that one's not emptied. It's just something to keep in mind.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But
so I think for this round, you said I can pick up the camels as my turn?
Yes, you can pick up all the camels.
So I'm going to pick up some camels. Boop.
I really should have traded in these camels for the other one, so I'm just going to get rid of them. It's not very fair. So, who was it that commented you can only grab one?
Rena.
Thank you. So I'm only going to take one good. I can't take both of these unless I was going to trade. I could trade out.
From your hand?
Yes, from my hand. Or I could just take one single good. Actually, now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm going to trade out and take these 2 gold, and I'm going to put 2 in.
So you have to replace both of them?
Whatever. If I take more than one card, whatever I take, I have to have enough cards to replace.
Okay.
And I did have enough camels to replace, I think, what I had
taken. I think so. You had a bunch of camels.
I did have a bunch of camels.
You're like a camel herder.
Yes.
Okay, so
camels at first.
Okay, so I would like to get these 2 green cards and pay for those guys with my camels.
Yes, as long as you don't have more than 7 cards in
I
your
have
hand.
6.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, pay for it in camels.
Yeah,
that's where the camels come in handy. Okay, so I am going to take a red one. That's all I'm going to do.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to turn in my greens. I have 5 of them.
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then you get to take a little 5.
5 token.
Yep. I am going to trade these in, my 3 yellows, for 3 of these and 1 of these. That's my turn.
Okay. Guess I'm gonna grab these camels again.
Yeah. Use your own camels again. Ooh. Sapphire. And replace it.
Okay. I'm gonna get this gold.
Awesome. I have 2 sapphire, so I'm going to grab these 2, emptying the first. So now we just have to empty 2 more resources before the round is over.
Okay. And I am going to guess I'll go ahead and exchange my 2 gold here.
Okay. Yeah.
And just pick up these.
Awesome.
Last 2 gold coins.
For the sake of time, do you mind if we end there?
Sure.
We're ending the round a little early because normally we would empty 1 more resource. But we have more games that we want to show you. Maybe I'll show you just all you do at the end of the round is look on the back. Even on the back of all the colored coins we have picked up is the same type of coins. So you just tally up all of your coins.
Gotcha.
And whoever has the most gold wins that round. And the best of 3 rounds wins the game.
That's fun.
If there is another token, and I apologize for my mistakes. I played this game 2 weeks ago, but not today. I should have played it today just to get myself up on speed. So yeah, it's a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it does take up a little bit of table space, but it plays pretty smoothly and pretty quickly. My husband and I both enjoyed it when we played it a couple weeks ago. And this is one of the games that if you had gotten our Valentine's package, you might have gotten this from us. So yeah.
All right. So if you want to go ahead and clear that one
Sure.
and get your things ready.
Yeah.
I'll just talk briefly about our website. BringRPGHome.com is our board game rental website. So there you can go in there and search. You put in what type of game you're looking for, and you can either rent by the night, which is usually $4 to $6 per night for a game, or our subscription is $15 a month. So if you're an avid gamer, it's definitely worth it to get that subscription so that you can, try out lots of different games and see if you like them.
Yeah. So this game, it comes in a really small box and very portable and fun. So the next game we're going to be playing is called Ubongo. And this is, I don't know, Megan and I like this type of game.
Fun.
Just like we liked Patchwork. It is Tetris type game. This one is a 1 to 4 player game. We have a bigger version of this at RPG. This is just the fun size edition, but it's the same concept. Basically, you have cards that have an easier side. Let's see. The easier side says 3 times, and it takes 3 different tiles to figure out the puzzle. They're all going to be differently shaped. And then there is another side that takes 4 different Tetris type pieces to fill out the puzzle. So whoever you're playing with, you decide together which side you would like to work on, the easier or harder side. And then you have a set of 8 different tiles that are uniquely shaped, and they each have a separate color too. And we'll angle this down. Megan, do you want to do the easy side or the harder side?
Yeah, let's do the easy side.
Easy side.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, let's just each get a stack in front of us.
Okay.
The bigger game that we have at RPG does come with like a timer, but you really don't have to use the timer if you don't want to. We've played it with the timer. We played it without the timer. It's basically you're racing against your opponent to fill in the grid that you have in front of you. So basically, when I'm going to explain it first, Megan, then we'll actually demonstrate it. So when we say go, we would put the card in front of us and start working with our pieces. And whenever we figured out a way to put them properly in without anything overlapping, without crossing the borders, then we would say Ubongo. And whoever says it first, they count down from 20 to 0. And that's the time that the other person has left in order to solve their piece, their grid. The player who completes the puzzle first keeps the puzzle card, which is worth 1 victory point, as well as taking one of these jewels. And if Megan completed it after 20 seconds, she gets...
Or before the 20 seconds is up.
Before the 20 seconds is up, she gets her card. So she'll get 1 victory point. I would get 2 if I got it first.
Yeah.
If Megan got it first, she would take the jewel and get 2 victory points.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't solve it
I don't solve it, I don't get anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So...
You can flip the pieces over. They can be oriented either direction.
Yes. And the game ends, you could change this if you want to, but then the rules say the game ends after just 8 rounds. So 1 round being just 1 card. So, yeah.
All right. So I got a timer set up for 20 seconds.
Okay. So we don't have to count down.
So if someone gets Ubongo, we can just push the timer there.
Okay. Make sure you have the times 3
1,
on
2, 3,
up.
4. Make sure I have all my pieces. How many did you say?
8.
8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. I'm good.
And actually, something else to note, the one at RPG, you actually have a set of 10
that's right.
Tetris pieces.
Yeah, a bit bigger.
Because the cards are bigger.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, Mark. Set. Go. Ubongo.
Man, you're fast. Ubongo.
Nice. You did it with 10 seconds to spare. So Megan keeps her card as a victory point. I have a card as a victory point, as well as a jewel. The colors of the jewel don't matter in this game. In the bigger game, it does. The one at RPG. And the rules explain it. Okay, so let's do it again.
All right.
Ready, set, go. This is using the same 3 pieces as my last one, Ubongo. Why did it do that?
I'll start the timer.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm so confused.
Ubongo.
Why is it the same 3 pieces? Normally that's not
the same pattern. Yeah.
It's not the same pattern at all. That's weird.
Okay, so I keep my card.
Yes.
You get a jewel.
Yes. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go. Ubongo.
This one's tricky.
Ooh. Some of them are trickier.
Ubongo.
Nice.
They
Good
Go
job.
into their place. Oh, just in the nick of time.
And you are working, Megan is working with the handicap. I don't know if you guys could see, but she has, like, what did you do? Tell them what you did. Tell them what you did to your finger, or do you not want to tell?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I was working outside on our outdoor dining area, just doing, just adding a little bit to it. And I was holding a piece of wood in a slightly awkward position, and my drill bit, it slipped, and I drilled into my finger to the bone instead of to the piece of wood. But I did not break my finger, so it's healing up pretty quick.
But that probably makes
I got my tetanus shot updated, so we're good to go.
But that probably makes it harder to work with the pieces.
Well, it's my left hand, fortunately.
That's true.
So I'm right-handed. It would be like my index finger on my right hand. I'd be in big trouble. But
yeah,
I'm okay with my left
Let's
hand.
do, instead of going all the way up to 8, let's do for fun 2 more rounds, maybe of the harder one.
Okay.
Are you willing to go to
Let's
the harder
do it.
side?
Yeah.
So flip yours over.
Yeah.
2 more rounds of the hard side. To show, just to give you guys a feel for, the harder side really isn't too much harder.
This is just a 2-player game, right?
Oh, no, this one's a 1 to 4 player game.
Oh, okay, awesome. 1 to 4 players. There you go.
And the one at RPG.
Oh, yeah, there's 2 more sets of pieces in there.
And the one at RPG, I believe, is also 1 to 4. It could even be 1 to 5. But yeah.
But it's fun with 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need more than 2 people. I wouldn't say it's very fun with just 1 person. You could do it one person.
Oh, really?
Because it is 1
I
to 4.
guess. Yeah.
But I don't feel,
I
don't know, compelled to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Ready, set, go. Ubongo.
Oh, this one's not going well, Betsy.
The 4 are tougher.
Yeah, they are. They're tricky. Ah, I didn't make it.
Oh well. Let's do 1 more of the harder ones.
Okay.
Ooh, look at this. It's basically stair step. Okay, on your
ready?
marks, get set, go.
Ubongo.
Oh man,
That's my first time getting it first.
nice. Oh yes, I got it. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was confirmed by my husband. Thank you. The game at RPG is also 1 to 4 player game. So
Cool.
yeah. So that's Ubongo. Well, as we're packing this up, I did want to just tell you about one other fun virtual event that we have weekly. And that is our trivia night. Our trivia night is on Wednesday nights. It's every Wednesday night. And you can get tickets online at if you just go to rpglawrence.com and go to our online ordering, you can get tickets. It's only $5 for a ticket. And form your team, create a team name, and the prize is a $50 gift card to RPG. So it's a very useful prize, I think. And it's a fun night. Even if you don't win, I've played it with my friends, and we lose every single time, but it's still fun because it's not only do you get to interact with other people, but there's also after the games, or not the games, after the trivia questions have first been presented, then you break out into your own small group and you're just chatting with them about the answers before you come back to the big group again. So you have chances to talk to your friends one-on-one as well. So I think it's a lot of fun. And it's another way to interact with people. So we're going to open up our last game of the evening. And our last game is called Raptor. This is a 2-player specific game. And I'm going to let you choose, Megan. You have not played this game before,
Correct.
right? Okay. So you can either play as the mama raptor, taking care of her baby raptors, or you can play the scientists who are shooting at the dinosaur, or just tranquilizing the dinosaurs.
Okay, I think I will be the mama.
Okay.
I'll be the mama dinosaur.
Good choice. That's typically what I choose. Because I don't know. I just like the idea. So there's 2 player mats. There's one for the raptor, and there's one for the scientist. So I'm going to give you the green one.
Okay.
To set up, let's hand out all the pieces first. There's the mama raptor with her babies. You can take it out of the bag.
Oh, these are cute.
Scientist minis. They're just kind of blah. We have bullets and fire tokens. Just set those aside for now. And so we each...
They're so tiny.
Oh no, they're so tiny. Hold it up to the camera. Hold it up to the camera.
Oh, it's so little. A little raptor.
Uh-oh.
Anything is cute, even a ferocious dinosaur if it's in miniature.
Yeah. So true. So true. I hope both decks are here. Yes, good. Whew. Okay, both decks are here. So you have your own deck, and I have my own deck of cards.
Okay.
Don't look at them for now.
Okay.
You could shuffle them a bit if you want. I'm going to try to make space to set up our forest. So there are 2 sides. There's a more forest side and a desert side. We're just going to go with the forest.
Sounds good.
I like the bright green a little bit better.
Yeah, here, I can move this over.
So yeah, we're going to need space. This is going to be tricky. We'll get it figured out.
I'll move my babies.
So there are 6 different squares to set out. Doesn't matter in what order, and you want to vary it a little bit each gameplay. After you set out the 6 squares, then there are trees that you can add, and these are going to be something that the dinosaurs can hide behind, or the scientists have to maneuver around in order to shoot. So any time there is not a circle, we need to add a tree.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to
angle the
camera down, make sure we're in. Oops. Yeah, there's circle, which is places that the characters can, the dinosaurs and scientists could stand on, but where there's not a space, you're going to add a tree or a rock. Rather, these are actually rocks. And I'm calling trees. They're rocks. And then there are exit points. And these you kind of set up randomly too. We're going to set it up on the green side. Doesn't matter where you put it. In order to escape, in order for the mama raptor to win, 3 baby raptors have to escape. And in order for them to escape, they actually have to maneuver not only to the edge of the board, but they have to exit on one of the pathways that extends out.
Okay.
On any of the 4 ones that extend out on the ends. So either 3 baby raptors have escaped or there's no more scientists on the board.
Mm-hmm.
The scientist player wins immediately if the mother has 5 sleep tokens, which basically is neutralizing her, or 3 baby raptors have been captured by the scientists.
Cruel.
Yeah. So, as I said earlier, we each have a deck of cards, and they're numbered 1 to 9. And the way it is played is we start with 3 random cards in our hand, and we get to choose one of those cards to play. Like if I had these 3 in my hand, there's a little bit of strategy involved. If you play a higher card, then you don't have the action that card represents, and your player board kind of tells you what each number does. So for instance, my 7 says place 3 fire tokens on free spaces of the board. So we're setting fire to the board, which you have to go around.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And then my number 2 1, well, not on the anyway, my number 2 1 is called reinforcements, which means basically I can add 2 scientists from my reserve to the board. And then my number 3 says Jeep, move 1 or 2 scientists as many spaces as you like in a straight line, as long as they don't run into an obstacle. So if I were to choose, on each turn, I could choose one of these cards to play. And I basically think about it and reveal face down. And when you're ready, at the same time, we reveal them face up. So if I were to pick the high card, I couldn't do the action of that card. If my card was higher than yours, I just would have action points to take. And then if your card is lower, you can take the action of whatever that card is.
So the lower number gets to take their action? The lower number
gets to take the action that the card represents.
Okay.
And then the person that has the higher number, you take the difference between those 2 numbers. So say if you had played a 3 and I'd played my 7.
Right.
You would take the action of whatever your 3 card says. What does your 3 card say?
A scientist of your choice is frightened.
Okay.
Lay down his figurine. This scientist becomes inactive until he's set back upright again.
Okay, so you would do that action first.
Mm-hmm.
And then the difference between our 2 numbers is 4.
Right.
So I would have 4 action points to take after that. And there's only certain things I can do with my action point. And it says on my player card what I can do with an action point.
Oh, okay.
So I can move a scientist onto a neighboring space. I could set a frightened scientist back up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it cannot be done the same turn the scientist has been frightened.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do it right away.
Right.
But next turn I could. I could capture a sleeping baby that's on a neighboring space right next to me. I could shoot a baby raptor located on a neighboring space and put it to sleep. So basically lay it sideways. I could shoot at the mother raptor at a long range in a straight line, and there must be no obstacle. So those are the things I can do that each take 1 action point. So I could choose 4 of those to do on my turn.
I lost the...
Oh, you lost the...
Just open Facebook.
Oh, you know what? This happened last time too because... Okay, that's my fault. I need to turn that off. You're going to have to go through the process again. Let's see. Of finding our Facebook Live and clicking on it.
Okay.
So we're kind of... I think it would work for us to discover the actions that our cards take and the action points we have as we kind of play along. However, if you want to read off like what things you can do for 1 action point each.
Sure.
So that everybody has that idea.
Yeah. For 1 action point, I can. A baby raptor moves to a neighboring space. The mother raptor moves in an orthogonal straight line in right angles as far as you like, but stopping at obstacles. The mother raptor kills a scientist on a neighboring space. The mother wakes up a sleeping baby raptor on a neighboring space. This cannot be done in the same turn the baby raptor has been put to sleep. So that's kind of like with the scientist. The mother raptor removes a fire token from a neighboring space as well as all adjacent fire tokens connected to it.
Okay. So let's set up our board. I'll angle it back down. So you've got your baby and mama raptors out.
Yep.
So to start with, shuffle. Did you shuffle your cards? I haven't shuffled my cards.
Just a quick shuffle.
Okay, so you're going to place the mother and babies on the board. You can place the mother raptor in one of the 2 central tiles. So you get to choose which one of those 2.
Okay, do they need to be in the same circle or are they in different circles?
They're all going to be in a different like tile. So the whatever you choose for where the mama raptor is going to be, then you're going to choose to put your 5 babies, 1 in each of the other
okay. So they're spread out across the board. Okay, gotcha.
With, yeah.
But the mama needs to be in one of the 2 center tiles?
Exactly.
Okay. Let's see here. These are so cute. There. There. Which one do I not have? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay.
And maybe I should have told you this ahead of time. I'm going to place 1 scientist. I can't place a scientist on the squares. I have to place 1 scientist on each of the L-shaped ones.
Oh, okay.
By choosing. So, like, if I place 1 here, you might not want to have your baby
yeah.
there.
Okay.
So I should have told
move
you
this guy?
with. Yeah. You could
move that guy.
That's exactly why I'm mentioning it now.
We'll just move these little babies a little further away from danger. Okay.
So I can place it wherever I want, 1 on each of these L shapes at the end. And I only get 4 scientists to start with. And then I have 6 more scientists that are on reserve that I could like bring out at a certain point if I wanted to, using my cards, of course. So these scientists are going to try to keep the baby raptors from escaping. So that's the setup. It's kind of a quick setup. We shuffle our action cards, we draw the top 3, and we can begin looking through those and deciding what number we're going to play.
Okay.
And that's really how the game starts. So as you're looking at your cards, you're going to be looking at what your cards' abilities are that you have to choose from, especially if it's a low number. That is.
Okay, so we choose our card.
Yep. If you've chosen a card, you okay. 1, 2, 3. So I have a 2, you have a 3.
Okay.
So mine is lower. So my action is going to take place first. So mine is call for reinforcements. Place 1 or 2 scientists from your reserve on empty spaces located along, once again, the edges of the board. So I'll put 1 here and I'll put 1 here. So that I took that action. You have 1 action point because that's the difference between our cards.
Okay. So do I spend my action point now?
Yes.
Okay.
Now you can do your action point.
All right. And what do I do with this card that I...
You just create a discard pile.
Okay.
And then we're going to draw off the top of our deck, so we'll have it ready for our next turn.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. So let me see. Okay.
Let's see if I can get the whole board on here. Nope, that's the wrong way.
Okay, I guess I'll just move one of my baby raptors. The rest of the actions are not super relevant right now.
Okay.
So
Moving a baby raptor away. So then draw one more card. So you have 3 in your hand to choose from, and let's start silently selecting our next card. Okay, I've chosen.
Okay.
So we reveal our cards. I have a 5, you have a 2. So your action, that your 2 card happens first.
So it says remove the mother from the board.
Ooh.
Then after the scientist player has used up all of his action points, place her back on a free space of your choice. On the next turn, the scientist player will show you which card he has selected before you choose yours.
Ooh,
So that's pretty good.
So I have, that was an 8? Was that what?
I had a 2.
Oh, 2.
Yep,
Okay.
2. And you have a 5, right?
Yeah, 5. So
So
I have 3 action points. Okay, so I am going to, I can move a scientist on a neighboring space, which would probably be good because I'm not close enough to any baby raptors. So I've got 3, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to do 1, 2, and then my third action, I'm going to shoot the baby raptor. And puts it to sleep. It's just sleeping.
Okay.
It's just sleeping.
Just resting.
So that's my 3 action points. So now you can place the mama raptor back on the board.
All right.
You like revenge.
Doop.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
So now.
Okay, so we draw another card.
Yep, draw another card.
Okay.
And you're going to get a look at my selection. Well, I'm just going to go for it.
Go for it.
I'm telling you, I'm going to do an 8.
Okay, you're going to do an 8.
So you already know.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a 9.
A 9?
Yep.
Okay. So that means I get to take my action, which I didn't think I was going to, but that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even see what your action was, darn it.
No, that's true. You have the disadvantage.
Okay.
So move up to 4 scientists as many spaces as you like in a straight line, as long as they don't run into an obstacle. So I'm going to move 4 scientists. I'm going to move this one. I'm going to move this one so it's next to a baby raptor. That's 1. I'm going to move this one so it's next to a baby raptor. That's 2. I'm going to move this one. That's 3. And this one is going to go just a little bit more away from... Actually, I could even go this way. I'm going to do that. Bye-bye.
You probably should.
Before the mama takes the revenge. And then you have 1 action point.
Okay. So
what can you do with your action points again?
I still don't know what this means. The mother raptor moves in an orthogonal straight line in right angles.
Yeah, so you can't move diagonally, in other words.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay,
so
that makes sense.
You could just move in any
overthinking
direction. Just
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so darn, I probably did. That wasn't a great strategy. That's okay. I'm gonna sit my baby back up. Baby comes first.
Okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
Draw the card.
Okay. And as you can see, we're diminishing our deck, but once our deck is all the way diminished, we mix the cards back in.
Oh.
Or if you play your number 1, both of our number 1 cards reshuffle the deck in some way too.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. Okay, I've chosen my number.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reveal it. 4, and you have 6. So my card does its action since it's lower, which would be put 2 babies to sleep.
Oh.
1 or 2 baby raptors to sleep as long as I am next to them. So I am. So I'm going to do this one and this one since it's further away from the mama. Those are the 2 I'm choosing. And
Okay.
you get 2 action points.
Okay. So I'm going to that's tricky. I'm going to go forward here with 1 action point.
Okay.
And then take out this scientist.
Oh,
1 action point.
okay. Sounds good. Next card.
Oh, yeah.
So if you guys didn't notice, or maybe actually it doesn't matter. The 9 card of both of ours doesn't have any effect.
Right.
But it's typically the highest number, so you just do action points.
Right. I should have saved my 9 and not played it with your 8.
Oh, well.
But
yeah.
whatevs.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there any more unique ones you want to show off before?
Like actions.
Yeah. Because we might not play this whole game.
Right,
just,
right.
like,
I think I'm getting the general idea of how it works.
I know we're kind of just beginning this game, but
yeah. So there's definitely strategy to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of weighing the pros and cons of doing your action.
Yeah.
And then if you don't get to do your action, how many points you're going to get to do the other things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun. I'd definitely be up to finishing this game at some point.
Yeah. This one takes a little bit more strategy to kind of get the hang of the game.
Yeah.
And the first time you play through the game really is kind of getting a hang of the game and your character and what you're controlling.
Uh-huh.
So
yeah, I like it, and it's a attractive game board too.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like the
it's
setup.
fun.
Yeah.
It's got fun little pieces to play.
Mm-hmm.
But this game is on our 2-player shelf. Raptor, as well as Jaipur.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ubongo is on our abstract strategy shelf. So we got some fun other games that you wouldn't think of. This one really you wouldn't think to look at the abstract strategy shelf for family games, but like this definitely works for kids.
Definitely.
And there's other ones on our abstract strategy shelf that would work for kids. So don't forget to look at those shelves, I would say, if you're at RPG or if you're browsing our Bring RPG Home website too.
Yeah.
So.
And then you had a request for next time we.
So a couple of you wanted to see us play through Parks. So we're going to be playing through Parks next week, and it is a gorgeous, gorgeous game with beautiful pieces. That one is going to take a little bit longer to explain, so we might only do 2 games next week. I still will prepare 3 just in case.
So you mean in 2 weeks? In 2 weeks, right?
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. So in 2 weeks' time, we're definitely going to be walking through Parks, as well as maybe 1 or 2 games in 2 weeks' time. We're going to do that.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have a chance to put in a comment or you wanted to reach out to us, then feel free to go to the contact page on the Bring RPG Home website, and we can answer questions, direct you towards a game that you're looking for, give you some suggestions. But we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, and you can still comment on this video even when it's done going live. If you want to leave on this video or any of our other social media posts, we'll be watching. If there is a game that you wanted to see us play through, just let us know.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think that's it for this time.
Otherwise, we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining.
2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.